This is for you.
What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco. That intro always hits a little bit different when you got Cowboys fans on, you know? But yeah, I'm here with my boy, as always, Brandon. What's good? It's Philly the podcast, man. And today we are doing the Cowboys pick. All right, so I got a couple of my, I hate to call them this, but they're my friends. They're my friends, y'all. They're my friends, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So introduce yourselves to the people that might not know them, but,
what's going on, man? It's your boy JTUCK, man. Holler at me on Twitter, man, at JTUCK151, and follow me on YouTube, Cowboys fans only. I appreciate you guys having me on, man. I know it's kind of rivalry territory, man, but it's all love at the end of the day. I expect the show, respect the content, man. Huge fan.
Yes, sir. It's your boy, Mr. Rome, Cowboys Fan Talk. I appreciate y'all bringing me on. I don't know if any of you people that are tuning in was around for our first interaction back for the first Philly Cowboys game. It was one for the books, but it was a good one, man. It let me know that I was dealing with some great content creators on the Eagles side, so I appreciate y'all bringing me on.
Definitely, it's an honor, it's a pleasure, man. Yeah, like he said before, we go into too deep, man. That was like epic. Shout out to Philly Mike and everybody that put that together. Man. That was crazy. It was 4-on-4 or 5-on-5, I think, actually. Content creators, Eagles versus the Giants, or Eagles versus the Cowboys. I can't think today. But today we do have a lot of drama going on, which we'll get into. Should we start with the drama or should we just start with the draft? I don't even know where to start at this point. I mean,
y'all, we think we got drama, but y'all trying to top us with the drama lately.
Y'all can be good now.
That's the thing. We should be good.
Should be right.
I mean, we are.
Yeah, we might be okay. I don't think we are. Like we were talking about in the background. We'll just start with the drama. Right. Obviously, Carson Wentz is gone. Carson Wentz is no longer in the NFC East. No longer in the NFC. He's no longer a Philadelphia Eagle. So, is it over? Probably not. We're probably going to go draft another quarterback. We're probably going to go get somebody in free agency that's going to come in here and put up. But to Brandon's point earlier, honestly, I'm cool with that. I think that if anything, that might boost somebody like Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts, you guys said it earlier, he was built for this type of competition. You know what I'm saying? And skills are very important. And I don't think that he skill-wise is as good as Carson Wentz. And I'll say that to the grave. You know what I'm saying? I think if you go out there and just, 11 on 11, I'm picking Carson Wentz now 9 out of 10 times. This is that 10th out of 10 times, though. That I just feel like Carson Wentz's mentality got to him. So I'm excited to see what Jalen Hurts has. And, like you guys say, you might not want to admit it live, but you guys was looking at Jalen Hurts too. So you guys know he got a little bit of talent.
I never want to hurt. I also didn't think he was getting CD. That's the truth. I never thought that was going to happen. That just was like, oh, he's still there? Okay.
I believe, and I spoke that one into existence early, man. So
I ain't see it. But I thought he was going to take another defender.
Yeah, but I'm a huge fan of Jalen Hurts, man. Like I said, it's not going to be one of those things where y'all going to see me just hating on the man because he's an Eagle. I feel like Jalen Hurts is a more than comparable quarterback for you guys. Actually, I would prefer that you guys would have kept Wentz and kind of hit Hurts on the back burner, man. But I think what's going to happen is you'll see a lot of Dak Prescott, I'll say, and Jalen Hurts, where you're going to see this Philly team start to rally around his leadership, and that's something that's going to get scary because once the team starts to build that camaraderie and they got a guy they trust in, it is what it is, and I feel like Carson Wentz is that guy. So
Hurts, one Hurts is my frat brother, so it's hard for me to hate on him too much. You know what I'm saying?
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
But two,
you got to bring him on the show. Then you got to bring him on the show.
Hey, look, if I knew him like that, I would, bro. But two, I think, and I hate to sound cliche, but if your enemy's better than your friend sometimes. Not true enemies, but your division rivals well. And y'all don't do well with going into the season as the favorite. Right. What y'all do well with is what y'all about to be right now, which is afterthoughts. People gonna think, well, Philly, it's over. Yeah. So y'all usually respond to that. And that's like more y'all makeup. You know what I'm saying? You see in your intro, y'all used to, okay, we the underdogs, that's cool.
Right.
Y'all keep things, so y'all not gonna catch me sleeping. I'm letting you know right now.
right.
I'm not assuming that next year those games is gonna be easy, because that's when y'all overlooked. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly when y'all show up. So I'm not saying y'all going 14-2. I'm just saying that don't just dismiss Philly, especially when you think Philly is like considered the underdog. That's exactly when you don't want to dismiss Philly. So y'all ain't catching me sleeping. I've been a Cowboys fan too long. I know how y'all give it up.
Right. As much as we try to separate ourselves from y'all, we a lot similar. The same with us, man. When we do
better when people doubt it.
It's
everyone's picking us to be favorite, man. You know,
it's this division, man. Like,
right.
I think what is it? Since like 2004, 2005, there was back-to-back division winners, which was the Eagles.
Right.
But ever since then, it's been like Washington, Dallas, and then New York, and then Philly, and then New York twice. It's been tough, and this division's wild.
Funny. This season, if Washington gets a decent quarterback, they're going to come into the season and watch the media jump behind them.
Right.
They sign a decent quarterback. They're going to put us both on the back burner. Watch.
Right.
I go Washington division.
Well, I like Washington. I think this whole division is very interesting just because last year we saw Washington probably have the most drama going on. Like we're the new Washington, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, they had some craziness going on, and it was deeper than just players. You know what I'm saying? But then you get into the season, you have even more drama. God bless to Ron Rivera fighting through cancer, to Alex Smith being comeback player of the year. Like they fought through so much. So I feel like whenever the NFC East is like completely down, there's always like that little shining glimmer of like, well, that was pretty cool. Like I found myself kind of rooting for the Washington football team at a certain point. It was like, this is kind of like a good story. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could turn right around though. I mean, look,
we say this like say Washington move off Matt Ryan and they get Matt Ryan. I ain't gonna be smiling no more.
Right.
Because as much as I don't think Matt Ryan is like that ill, all they need is a decent quarterback.
Right.
Facts.
Right.
And it'll be like, okay, I don't want to play them.
Right.
So right now
let me ask y'all, because we were talking about it a little bit. I know you said, technically you do still have a quarterback, but what's up with your quarterback? I mean, Dak Prescott might not be in Dallas for very much longer. How much longer do you guys think you're gonna have him?
I think if you want to know the exact date, if we don't do something before March 9th, it's a wrap. If we franchise him like they will do, no. Because what will happen is he will franchise him. This is Dallas karma. We'll franchise him. He'll have a great year. I'm not even gonna say nothing crazy like we'll go to the Super Bowl. He'll get to like the first NFC NFC championship game ever, right? Right, the perfect timing. And then Jerry will say, "Yo, I got the bag for you," and he'll be like, "Nah." And we'll be really mad because we'll be like, "Oh, we got the team, and we have to start over because Jerry's a jackass." So that's exactly what will happen. Like he'll have his best season yet. It'll work out perfect. And then Jerry will be like, that's all I wanted to see. And Dak will be like, so? And he'll go sign with like San Fran, and then I'll kill myself.
I know
that's how I really feel. I feel like he's going to have a good year, and we're going to be left holding him. I don't want to lie to myself. If it was up to me, I ain't saying I give him 50 or nothing crazy. I think right above Deshaun is fair. Right. It is, and it is mainly because if you want to argue over the $4 million or $5 million, it's because they waited. That's what happened when you don't have leverage. He gets that $4 million. You probably could argue him down if you ain't have leverage.
Right.
But right now it's like, well, who else you gonna get? I just did a video on that.
Right. And I feel like after you did that video, it started to make sense that I believe Dak is going to get the extension. And I feel like what's going to happen is we got to pay close attention to the draft, because I feel like the Cowboys are going to sit back and they're going to try to find every avenue to possibly replace him. So if one of these quarterbacks slide, which we'll probably talk about, then they'll probably pursue it and look into it. But if not, they're going to get to a point, man, in July and say, you know what, we tried every option. Ain't nobody else out here. Just give them the money. Let's just move forward. Especially you see where everything's going on with the NFC East. If the Washington team is bringing in a quarterback, you guys have a great draft, Jerry's going to want to make sure he's competitive. So I feel like that's the leverage that Dak will have. Whereas finally where the Cowboys just like, man, we try to replace this guy. Ain't no other options. We can really go. Here's the 40 mil. Just take it and just be done with it. So that's my only reason I'm getting a little bit optimistic when it comes about this Dak extension, man. But it's going to be a bumpy road all summer. We'll be talking about this in June. And
y'all play chess? If you played chess, you would say, okay, look, worst case scenario, Philly got a young quarterback. Washington or the Giants got Daniel, whatever, and he's still kind of in the air. And then Washington, if they go young, it's developmental. So in your mind, you like, look, if I sign Dak, if it don't work, I have a good 2 or 3 year window to play with while everybody figures their quarterback situation out. This probably should be where you push your chips to the middle of the table.
Right.
Contingent on if Washington swings big and goes for like a superstar quarterback that's, like a veteran. But I would just push my chips to the middle of the table because worst case scenario, you start over in 3 years.
Right.
Or you want to start over now? Because that's what would happen. Like, if we get Zach Wilson, we're not coming out and that's let me tell you, that's their golden goose.
That's the golden
goose. He could get a way to get to Zach Wilson. Jerry would give away Zeke, D-Law.
Maybe if he drops to 6, maybe we'll fleece y'all real quick.
And Jerry give y'all some picks too. He'll trade them.
Yeah, he didn't do anything for Zach. Man, when you watch Zach Wilson, that has Dallas Cowboys written all over it, man.
You just put up a Google image, you be like, nah, I see what he's talking about.
Yeah, he's a Cowboy.
Yeah.
I mean, even in BYU, his uniform looked like he was already on the Cowboys.
Jerry would lose it. So, if that happened, then I'm gonna just have to see Dak in another jersey.
Right. Let me ask all of y'all a question. Let me ask all of y'all a question because I've heard this a lot, and I want to know what y'all thoughts on this. Narrative, I guess you could call it. A lot of people are starting to say that it's almost next to impossible to win consistently outside of the Kansas City Chiefs. I feel like they're the outlier when you pay a quarterback. When you finally have to pay that big contract to your quarterback, it becomes a lot harder and a lot higher of a mountain to climb. How do y'all feel about that? Do y'all think in that terms maybe it makes more sense to go and draft a quarterback for you guys? Because you guys have a lot of money on that offense outside of Dak.
I'll go ahead, Tuck, because I got to answer.
I feel like that myth has came just from the New England Patriots. Because you look back, man, Green Bay, they paid their quarterback. They've been competitive. Matt Ryan got his deal, being competitive. Even Jared Goff, you want to think about it, the Rams have been competitive. So it's like, where's this narrative really coming from? I think a lot of people think about New England, right? Or they want to say because Seattle signed Russell Wilson that they wasn't able to keep the Legion of Boom. And but the Seattle Seahawks have been competitive, right? And so I don't think that's, the narrative that's going to be true, especially for Dallas. If you sign Dak Prescott, we're going to be a whole lot more competitive than we'll be than with Allen. We saw what 2020 looked like when we played y'all with Ben DiNucci and, all us. Like, we don't want to go through that. So go ahead, sign Dak. There's ways you can flex the cap. Shouts out to my guy, Boss Cowboy. He dropped a great video talking about the money coming in from the TV revenue 2022, 2023, and beyond, that the fraction that $40 million would take up for next contract would probably be around 10% in the next 2 years, where you can go and sign these players. But you also got to think about from the Cowboys standpoint, what other big free agents have we signed once we had Dak under a rookie contract? He was on a 4th round contract, so it's not.
I know why we didn't sign nobody. That's who did money he was paying.
Right, from Romo. Right. And so so it's not like the Cowboys are going to be aggressive if they bring in a Zach Wilson on his rookie contract. They're not going to do what it takes. So it's like, sign Dak Prescott. He gets the opportunity to be the most competitive man, and let's cut the games. But here we are. So,
well, I'll tell you, this is what I think, man. The salary cap it's a myth. The way people look at contracts is false, and it's just for talking fodder. Basically, no one pays their quarterback the exact amount of years, the exact amount of money every year. Right. We signed Dak Prescott to a $40 million deal. We mess around and pay him 28 this year, right. And then next year we might pay him 37. And then when the salary cap jump up, okay, now we'll give you 43, 44. Right. You never get the 1 for 1. I don't know why everybody just don't realize that. Right. If you look at no one's getting paid the exact money.
Flat 40 across every year. Like,
right. They just do the math.
So it's pointless to even argue on it. I don't know why everybody's doing it. We signed Dak Prescott for 40 a year. It's great to discuss. But what they'll do is like, okay, Dak, look, this year we're going to give you about 32. That's fair because that's what they really want to pay him. Okay, 32 is great with the cap going up, $5 million. Okay. And then the way that you guys know, you guys got a capologist.
Right.
I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry to talk to you. Amari, let me move some of your money around so your cap hit isn't 20 this year. It's really 13 because we put some to the front. Now you get the instant cash, blase. Now you got another $8 million. Like, so when everybody, it depends on who you want as a player. Because when you want somebody, you'll figure it out.
Right.
So they just use that as a way to try to squeeze him. Dak, I don't know what we gonna do. You know what it's gonna do. Stop, stop being cheap. Just pay the man. And then the irony is if you pay him and you free up, right now we're supposed to have 24 million. I'm not perfect, I'm just saying about 24 million.
Right.
You pay Dak and you do it right, we might go into the offseason with about 35 to 40 million if you move some things around. because we're going to let some players go that they're counting against the cap that's not coming back, like Sean Lee probably retire, et cetera, et cetera. And then you can finally go get a free agent. You don't play, you play around and have to franchise them, and that money is a 1-for-1.
Right.
Yeah, you let $38 million come out the cap. Yeah, you're actually cutting off your nose to spite your face. Right. It's not really a savings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you know how they do the contracts. Them last 2 years be like, I mean, the only person that got the guaranteed contract is Kurt.
And Mahomes got that baseball contract. I mean, that boy, he getting paid throughout.
And he's allowed to.
Yeah, he's getting paid throughout.
You know what, though? The pipes, because when you sign that contract,
busting my hat off.
You sign that contract, as good as Mahomes is, he have 2 or 3 more years where it kind of don't work out, and the media going to turn on him.
Right.
And then he got to spend 10 years in this contract trying to defend himself like Aaron. Because I remember when Aaron could do no wrong.
Right.
And it was like, I mean, Aaron, it's been about 3 years. What's up?
You ain't been to no Super Bowl? No, nothing.
I feel like 1 year it was his offensive line, 1 year it was his wide receivers, the next year it was his like every year there was like, and then at one point they were like, all right, Roger, like what's going on, bro? Like I'm trying to think.
And the irony is the NFL, you know, it's finicky. Like, I'm not gonna wood. I'm not wishing no injury on nobody, but like it could be like next year Tyreek messed something up.
Right.
Now can you win it with just Kelsey? No. All right. The next year we're gonna do it. Now Kelsey too old. Okay, now he gone. And you know what? And then you look up, you be like, I got a whole new receiving core. They ain't as good.
Right.
And I got 5 more years in this contract. And we gonna be like, yeah, that 10 didn't look as good now.
Right.
You know, that 450 million ain't funny no more.
Right.
So as good as he is, as you guys see in the Super Bowl, even he can't do it by himself.
Right.
He did a whole plank throw.
Yeah.
Still ain't work.
Although I still think the Chiefs will draft better than the Packers and actually get some help from Mahomes once they start. They won't draft a quarterback in the first round when they still got Rodgers. Any other team would want. I would want Rodgers right now.
Yeah.
I would take him today.
But I think like when it comes to paying people, I think you have to either go one or the other. You either pay a quarterback and then you also have the surrounding pieces that are still young and you don't have to pay a lot, or you pay a lot to the outsides and then you don't. Yeah, go ahead.
Put it like this. There's 2 ways, like you're saying. I was thinking about this the other week. I didn't know how to make a video out of it. There are 2 ways you could do build around the quarterback, or you could do the Colts. But they did everything but the quarterback.
They got a quarterback.
Right.
But the thing is,
that's what I'm
that's
saying.
a gamble. Because what if Wentz don't work?
Right.
I'm not hating on Wentz.
Me personally,
not a reverse way don't work either.
I think the quarterback is very important. Don't get me wrong. But the Colts kind of got, I don't want to say lucky, but Frank Reich kind of walked into a situation where they had talent because most of those players were there. They had talent.
Facts.
He definitely drafted well, and he definitely put a scheme into place, which brings me to this, scheme over everything. I mean, Lamar Jackson could be looking like Ben DiNucci on a lot of teams if you don't scheme right for him, right? So I mean, like it's scheme over everything. So who knows? Who knows? I mean, maybe it is more important. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the coach. I feel like the coach has to make that decision. Some coaches I think like Nick Sirianni personally, and I could be 100% wrong. He seems like a scheme over players type guy. Like he seems like a guy that'll be like, just, it doesn't really necessarily matter who my quarterback is. Just let me know what he's good at and we'll do that. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't seem like the guy that like, oh, I want Aaron Rodgers because he can do everything. He'll take him. Don't get me wrong.
I think that's Shanahan.
Yeah. Shanahan he'll just kind of do whatever his team is going to be good at. Like if it's going to be running 50 million times, then he's going to run the ball 50 million times, which is good. I mean, that's what you want, right? Like, I mean, look at Harbaugh. Harbaugh basically rebranded himself just for a quarterback. I mean, he basically went out and got like all studded up to just go get a girl. That's basically what he did.
Hey, it worked though. Yeah. They got this girl, man. We gonna run this, man. Man, I can't even knock him for it, man.
So she can run.
So to come back on the Cowboys a little bit, what were like you said earlier? You drafted CeeDee Lamb. Your offense looked prolific on paper. Talk to me a little bit about this season and like kind of your disappointments and things that you're looking forward to next year with the team you got.
Tuck, you got it?
Yeah, I'll say, man, when we drafted CeeDee Lamb, I thought Super Bowl, to be honest with y'all. Like, I had Super Bowl reservations to Tampa.
Cowboy fans? No.
Yeah. I'm normally not that way, but I felt like our offense was going to be so dynamic this year that we could be competitive. Now, I didn't think our defense was going to take that drastic of a slide back. but they did. But I will say this though, I feel like one of the biggest frustrations for me was I put a lot of faith in Mike McCarthy coming into this season, and there's a lot of different blunders that I saw this year that I didn't expect from Mike, especially earlier on. This is pre-Dak injury, like with the play calling, with the situational handling. Now, he got a little bit better as times progressed, but he didn't have his quarterback, and so there's a lot of things that fundamentally the Cowboys struggled with. Turn over the ball, Zeke was fumbling, random punts and fake punts and all sorts of stuff going on that I didn't expect. So next year, I feel like if the Cowboys are able just to reel things back in, especially with Dan Quinn coming in, and then also Dak Prescott coming back, then it's going to add a new layer to this team. And I feel like we're just a few missing pieces to be back competitive, right? Because I feel like even if last year, as bad as we were playing, we would have still won the division like outright, like if Dak wouldn't go down. But I feel like this year, if we're able just to bring Dak back, add a few more pieces defensively, I feel like our offense is the most explosive offense in the NFL, and that's including Kansas City.
Okay. On my end, disappointment-wise, the way I look at the season is this. I feel like if Dak doesn't go down, we could end 9-7, 10-6. I do think it would have been some growing pains. I don't think we'd have just, necessarily – I don't think we'd have ended up 6-10. There's no way in the world some of those close games we would have lost if Dak was in there. As far as at the beginning of the season, before a game was played, I'd never go to Super Bowl with Dallas since we've missed it. I always go playoffs, and I'm a person that I was like top at the best thing that we could do is probably get to the NFC Championship game. I just need to see that first, to be realistic. But I just thought I knew for a fact I was like, we can make the playoffs. I had no doubt. And then, all the injuries and et cetera, et cetera. So that was the thing that I think frustrated me the most this year is people not acknowledging our injuries. Like, I know we're the narrative team for like the national publications and like when they talk about Dallas, but the way they would discuss us would be like, one segment would be like, Dallas is just terrible. They can't get it together. And I'd be like, our starting quarterback broke his leg in half. They don't mention it.
Left tackle out, right tackle out. You know what I'm saying? Like
the next segment, they'll bring up San Fran and be like, well, they can't get together because everybody hurt.
Right. I will say, you guys get no, pity from Eagles. We've been going through, but I will say we both get the same treatment in that sense. Like you guys felt it this year. It's like ridiculous though. It's because we went through 14, but even our fans, and I know Dallas fans can relate. Everybody's got the bad seeds in their fan base, but even our fans are just like, this offensive line is trash. Which one? We had 14. Like, let me know which one you're talking about. Like, you got to let us know when you're talking about all these injuries because it's.
I'm like, they're like, Andy Dalton can't get out of. I'm like, okay, Tyron Smith is gone. Lyle Collins is gone. Zach Martin got a concussion. Right. Tyler Bid, our Travis Frederick retired.
Right.
Our best lineman is our left guard,
Connor Williams, and he's a liability. You know what I'm saying? Like,
was he a rookie too? He was a rookie last year, right?
And then in my mind, I'm like, Zeke's overweight. Because that's my hot take from the season. I feel like Zeke was out of shape. It is what it is, and I know out of shape is not my out of shape. I'm what I'm saying. I'm talking about like NFL. You ripped up, like you really in your best shape. Zeke carrying weight like a fullback right now. Right. And it was affecting his play. I feel like if Zeke dropped 20, he'd be a better player. I'm not saying he's going to be, I don't know, like Derrick Henry. I'm just saying he lost some of his burst, Now, consequently, it might have helped him with all those hits he took. But
I think he sacrificed. I think he sacrificed the burst to take on more hits because we was running the tread off of him, so early in his career. So
but he got a little run and making him back. So I think if he drops some weight, he'll be all right. But as far as going into the next season, like as far as what I think that we could accomplish, I'm really, as much as I feel like, well, I'm not gonna go draft because I got some things to go when we get that. But if the draft goes like I want, I feel like we will be a more balanced team, and I think that the biggest thing that the media hasn't gotten to, which I think will help Dallas, I'm just going to assume that we signed Dak. It is what it is. I feel like Dak just got his redshirt year that he never got, and when you get a chance to sit back and analyze the game and not be in the fire after you've been in the fire, it's different because Tom Brady got a redshirt year. And a bunch of these great, like Aaron Rodgers has had a redshirt year before where he got hurt. You step back and just be like, So being able to sit back and really analyze the game, because before Dak got hurt, there was one play that let me know that, like, and this is all seriousness, I know we go back and forth, that let me know, oh, he's different than before he came in the league. And I'm not a quarterback whisperer, I'm just saying, that throw he made in the Cleveland game, when he fitted between a safety and a corner, I don't know if y'all saw that play. I was like, no, that's
talking about Dak.
Yeah, that's different. And I was just like, in my mind, I was like, I know this game ain't going like we want, but that is completely different. I was like, oh, okay, that boy can play quarterback now.
I think Dak Prescott, I forget which one of you guys said it, but I want to say it was you, Ron, but you said that he was a lot like Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, you're going to see a lot of Dak Prescott come out
matriculation, because he's going to – it's all about your grind. Mm-hmm. They literally say – and I know what they say about every quarterback, but I'm talking about literally people have said, no, he got with Tom House and he really worked on his craft. That's why when I saw him doing the thing everybody made fun of, like, look at this stupid dance. I'm like, no, he has put in some type of work to where – because if you watch Dak early in his career, he's throwing like a javelin.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He had no mechanics.
Right.
But he realized, I got an opportunity. I got to capitalize on it. I don't think he thought that he would be getting this much pushback from his organization to get signed.
Right.
But he got everything I want in a quarterback as far as the way he carry himself, the way he work hard. I don't quite know what they don't see. But if you go back, if you bored one day and you like want to, as much as people clown Dak, if you go back and look at the games that he played this year,
right.
In the Browns game, we were up 14-7. In the New York game, before he broke his leg in half, we were up. In the Seattle game, he came back and took the lead. So as much as people say, well, it's just garbage yards, I've watched every game. I watched us beat up in the Browns game, and Zeke put the ball on the ground in the opponent's 30 2 times back to back.
Right.
And watched it knock the wind out of the team.
Right.
I watched us up 22 to I think it was like 14 or something like that. In the Giants game, and then he broke his leg, and they took the lead, and then Andy Dalton came back.
Right.
But I remember he scored right before half on the Philly special play.
Mm-hmm.
Right before he broke his leg or his ankle.
Right. Yeah.
So
I
seen him. I know everybody's like, everything he did this year was from behind. I was like, not really. We would have won a Seattle game if we had a defense.
Right.
He came back and took the lead.
Right.
I hate on Dak because I'm supposed to. That's what I'm like.
You are supposed to.
You got to.
If you hit 1K on YouTube, you get paid to talk shit about Dak. It's kind of in my contract. But no, I mean, like I've said it before, I do have a lot of respect for his game. I feel like he's made leaps and bounds. You've seen that work ethic in him. And there's been a difference from his rookie year to now. You know, a lot of the things that people were saying were wrong with him, he's definitely, fixed, and I got to give it to him for that. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. We do have 30 people in here. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, share it. You know what I'm saying? Go check my boys out. I got my throat's about to die. But I want to ask y'all a question. We're going to move a little bit towards the draft. Yes, I want to ask y'all a question because I know, we're going to go over who you do want, but I want to go over the top 9 that got picked. And I want to ask you, is there anybody in the top 9 that you were kind of like, damn, I was kind of hoping they would fall? So I'll go over the top 9 for those who don't know. Number 1, we had Trevor Lawrence, then Zach Wilson, Devontae Smith, Justin Fields, Penny Sewell, Jamar Chase went to the Eagles. Eagles fly. Trey Lance, Patrick Surtain Jr., then Micah Parsons. Is there anyone out of that list that you're like, damn?
Before we get into the draft talk, I want to say this, right? In order for this draft to be successful for me as a Dallas Cowboys fan, you guys cannot take Jamar Chase, man. As long as you got,
that's what we want. That's what we want.
As long as they don't get Chase, I'm cool. I don't even care who Dallas picks. We could trade out of the first round. I don't care, man. But we cannot let Jamar Chase go to the Eagles.
And the reality of it, those picks happen before today. So
yeah,
that Chase pick is going to be Justin Fields.
don't put that evil on us.
Don't do that.
Don't put that evil.
Y'all have to take a quarterback.
Before you answer, let me put it like this. I was like brainstorming earlier. The only way I would see that happen is if we went, because Andre Dillard is kind of on the block. So if Andre Dillard was somebody that the Dolphins wanted, because we know that they do need offensive line. Maybe not, number 3 offensive lineman, but they're going to probably need offensive linemen. So if we can give Andre Dillard our pick and maybe a later round pick, that's the only way I see that happening, because I don't think Justin Fields or anybody, maybe Trey Lance if they like Trey Lance, but I don't see us going after Trey Lance. It has to me, be one of those top 3. So that's the only way I could see something like that happening. But yeah,
I know
that was my brainstorm.
I know what y'all do. Y'all looking for picks and depth because y'all building.
No, they going for
y'all go ahead and take Field.
They going for Jamar Chase flat out, bro. Because that fumble last year, because that fumble they had last year in the draft, they're gonna make up for it. They're gonna draft Chase and be like, aha, now we got Chase. Now what's up? And they're gonna spin the block. Really is what it is.
Listen, Houston comes off of Deshaun for whatever bank load they get, right? And then y'all send Houston Jalen Hurts for a 2 because y'all will take an extra 2. Send them Jalen Hurts for a 2, and then they have their fail-safe quarterback because he's from Houston. I'm just saying.
I didn't even know that.
He's from Houston. That's why they're working out.
I'm not going to say the name I was going to say, but the guy y'all looking at, he's from Philly. So,
yeah.
it
might just be me. I'm looking at. I'm not sure where Rome's still at. I mean, I know he's kind of on board with me, but he's been kind of my rival with this pick, man. But yeah, the guy I'm looking at is from Philly. So yeah,
that's why I picked y'all both, to be honest, because I knew exactly where JTUCK wanted to go, but I haven't heard much from you as far as who you really, really want. But we're not gonna get into that just yet. Just yet. But yeah, so outside of the quarterback situation, wide receiver, all that stuff, what are your thoughts as far as like full draft? What are your needs? What are your the goal of this draft? What are you trying to get out of this?
You want to go, Tuck?
Yeah, I would say my personal it's the front seven, man. Dressing the defense up front. The defensive interior was a defensive tackle, a 1 tech specifically. I feel like we got rotational 3 techs, but we need a 1 tech. It's a fat, nasty guy who can clog up the lane and add a little bit pressure over the center. And then also at the linebacker position, adding depth there because we got Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch, and it falls off a cliff after that. And those 2 guys ain't too good they damn selves. So, it's really just getting a defensive tackle and then also a linebacker. And then I would like a rangy free safety because in Dan Quinn's scheme, it's going to be a single high cover 3, some guy that can cover sideline to sideline because we ain't got that and we ain't had one in decades. So I feel like that's where my focus is defensively. But with this number 10 pick, it's a little bit different than that. So,
How about you, Ro?
I'm heavy defense. I'm one of them people that I'm firm in defense wins championships as Tampa. I know people say you got to score points to win. I understand that, but it ain't nothing like watching a defense cripple a good offense. I've seen it plenty of times. I saw Seattle break Denver down one time. I've seen it happen before plenty of times where that team that is rolling over people meets that defensive scheme that just works as New England when they were undefeated. And I know they thought it was laughable. That's just the Giants. Okay. JBP's been a part of 2 of those. Like, all right. So even Pat Mahomes, even the great Pat Mahomes, when the defense just right, ain't nothing you could do. So that's why I'm when the offense is right, sometimes it could that ain't your day. People just ain't catching. The defense is all instinct, and you will break a man's will better when you go out there to score, and you realize, like, you can see it in everybody's faces. I saw it in Pat's face, like, I ain't never seen this before. I can't move the ball. Like, it was different. And I saw that Seattle. I know y'all remember that Super Bowl, Seattle versus Denver.
Right.
I think it was that hit on Welker. I think it was Welker. But so, it was early. Cam Chancellor hit him, and I think the whole thing was like, yo. They're playing a different type of football. Like, it was just different. So I'm a big defender. Who I would want, or where I would want to focus at in the draft, is I need that, like you said, that safety. I'm not going safety at 10 because it's just no one that needs to go there. But second round, I'm definitely going safety. And with that first pick, all I'll say is I have a plan for why I would go offense.
Okay.
My plan. I'm not happy because it involves me letting go of some offense, but it's a plan.
So would you guys entertain trading back?
Yeah.
No,
yeah. Go ahead.
I would. Me personally, Jerry won't because he's Jerry. He like being in the top 10. He not messing that up.
Yeah, that's the red carpet event, man. He ain't gonna mess with the red carpet.
Go get a linebacker.
Right.
And like I could move around and do stuff like that, but that's just me.
Right.
Jerry need that pick.
Yeah, because to be honest with you, I'm with my guy, and then if he's not available, then I'm team trade back. Like, let's trade back because some of the defensive players that I need and that I'm watching that I think will be helpful make sense at 20. They don't make sense at 10. Yeah, they look real good at 20. I'm like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? But at 10, I'm like, nah, I can't. Nah.
You can't pass on certain players at 10. You just can't.
Yeah, right.
I feel like the Eagles and the Cowboys are in a very unique situation because the first round, we can just literally get best player available because we have enough open spots on the roster. I don't want to say, needs, but they are needs. It is what it is. But, and then the draft plays out well for us because both of us are pretty bad on defense. And there's a lot of defensive players, like a lot of defensive players. Rounds. Exactly. So, I mean, this definitely works out for us.
And thank you for explaining that because I've been trying to explain this to some of these boneheaded Cowboys fans for 3 months, and they're not seeing that. So I got some Eagles fans in the same thing. We have to take defense at 10. Like, you don't got to do nothing, man. Like, we don't take a defensive tackle at 10. Like, why y'all tripping?
Well, I'm going to get my defense with the 10 pick. It's just not going to be conventional.
Shout out to JTUCK too. Shout out to JTUCK too, because he's always in one of the lives and he'll be like, "No, don't take him, don't take him." Like, every time we talk about drafts, he's like,
cool, man. I started hearing y'all talk about it. I was like, oh hell no, nope.
Next minute, I'm on Twitter and I see like, nah, y'all need to go to Philly. Tell me stop talking about this guy.
Yeah, man.
That just had me crying. That had me crying. So one of the questions we like to ask here a lot. And then we'll actually get into the pick. We all have what we want to happen, right? We all have the plan in our head, our dream draft, but we also have that one thing we don't want to happen, right? What is one thing at number 10 that you're like, Jerry, if you do this, I am cutting your life support? Like, what is that one thing? What is that one thing?
Draft that dude from Miami.
Greg Russia, yeah.
If I would lose my mind. He better not. He can go tackle. I'm fine. He can go receiver again. He can go tight end. He can even reach for a corner if he dropped to us. I'll live with it. Like, all right, Diggs got somebody to run with. But if he take that DN, who I know he's one of those overrated DNs, you're like, he ain't got it. And he got to prove me wrong. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, but I don't see it. But he's super athletic. So Jerry can lie to himself.
Yeah, he looked
like, oh, he's a war dad now.
Yeah,
Shut up.
Right.
Better not. That's the one guy I'm just like, if he do, yeah, you're right. I'll have one of those reaction videos where I'm crying, liquor in my hand,
swinging at the air.
Yeah. Even if he's a random QB, I would understand it because I'm like, he's just being petty at this point. I would be shocked and mad, but it's different. Because hopefully the QB would take it and be like, oh, he traded up for Zach Wilson. And as much as I'm like, I would get over it over time. Like, I guess we're here now. But if he took that DN, that'd be a waste of a top 10 pick. And that's why I'd be so frustrated. Like, all right, he's not going to bring us any value. All you did was anger our defensive lineman we got right now. So that's my thing.
Man, for me, it's quarterback, bro. If we draft a quarterback, I'm going to be over it, man, because I feel like if we do that, we are completely resetting this team and we taking a step back. And to be honest, because that's the thing. But I feel like if the signs a point, like I was saying earlier, if Dak is franchise tag, I feel like Jerry and Steven won't be able to help themselves if a quarterback was to fall to us. So you mean even if let's say Zach Wilson gets to 8, like Carolina,
is over.
If it's close, he's going to jump ahead and take one of these quarterbacks, man. I feel like it's maybe Justin Fields is kind of out of it. Yeah, he wouldn't do it for Justin Fields, but if
Dak Light. That's
what I'm saying. You're not going to get Trey Lance is Dak Light. You're not going to do that. But if Zach Wilson is within reach, man, Jerry ain't going to be able to help himself, man.
I think Zach Wilson is better or the same as Dak. We know why I know that he'd be gone.
Right.
His eyes would light up. You know, we know his grandson don't like Dak. He'd be like, Dad.
Right, yeah. Right there on the boat. Yeah, you got to get this guy. he looks like his grandson and all, man. Like he looks like one of the Joneses, bro. Like,
I hate it. I'm not for reasons, but we know that it would go down.
Right.
And I'm already ready for it.
Right.
I think we're in the same boat. I mean, like Eagles fans are kind of in the same situation. We're just basically mentally preparing ourselves for every name that can be read off of that card. Because at this point, you have no idea. I agree. Gregory Rousseau, I like the kid. You know, at 6, you can't teach 6'8", you can't teach that speed, but you can teach fundamentals, and he doesn't have like the greatest of them at this point. So I mean, he could become very great, but I just don't see. He was on a great defensive line. I'm sorry.
Who's somebody y'all would get mad at?
Brandon, you could go first. You could go first.
I mean, prior to the Wentz stuff, it would have been quarterback. It still might be quarterback. The only silver lining
is Mac Jones. You'd be like,
that's what I'm talking about.
I'd cry.
Oh my god! But
I would literally cry.
Yeah, I would delete my channel if it was
if you get Mac Jones,
I'll delete. I'm out, bro.
I mean, with a terrible time.
I think you made my pick right there. There's not really much else. If they did that, that would really make me mad. But I mean, I guess if you trade back too far back and then you mess that pick up reaching on someone that you could have got late second round or something.
Right.
But other than that, we have so many holes in Philly that you at number 6, you're almost guaranteed to get the top college player at any position that you have holes at right now.
Yeah,
so they really have to mess it up.
A lot of good talent in that top 10.
And I'll talk to the other one, man. I would say Parsons, man. Like, I'm not a Michael Parsons fan. Like, I'm just
you're gonna really get kicked off.
Yeah, 20, but not 10.
Okay. I love Micah. I think a lot of these reports are gonna probably drop him, which is cool with me. I mean, if we can drop back to number 15 and still grab Micah Parsons, I'm cool
just take him at 6. Why you gotta drop back? Take him at 6.
I wouldn't take him at 6. I personally wouldn't. Only way I would be really upset or like shocked and so upset is if we traded up for a quarterback. That's the only way I would really sit here and be like, really. Really, like, that's
range,
where
though,
I'm
man.
Because I've said
a new coach. That's the only reason why I would think maybe.
Just don't trade up. That's my whole thing. You can get somebody at 6.
When you're a new coach, you want your guy.
That's
exactly.
And it's no hate. It's not even no hate to Hurts.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't draft him.
And to be honest with y'all, that might be what we're facing in Dallas. Like maybe because we really haven't heard Mike McCarthy stand on the table for Dak Prescott. He might be thinking, man, this ain't my guy. This is Jason Garrett's guy. Let me get what I want. And he might be looking at
exactly.
He might got somebody hiding in the barn.
Yeah.
We got to see who he was watching in the barn. You know what I'm saying?
Ben DiNucci was his guy. He wanted
DiNucci. He was hype.
Yeah, I remember y'all were hype.
I've never seen
Gucci.
I was trying to lie to myself that week. I was going to go into the game. I was trying, man.
Oh, I was like, man, if I gotta fake it, man, I'm gonna fake it, man. I gotta believe in Ben DiNucci, man. He almost came through. He almost came through, though.
I watched my hype video over that. I was lying to myself. I was like, yo, Ben might come out
on every social media talking about Gucci DiNucci.
Gucci, man.
That had me cry. I was like, bro, y'all too much, man.
We had shirts with the Gucci DiNucci. Man, we was forcing it, man. We had anything to beat the Eagles, man. I don't give a damn if Cedric Wilson to play quarterback.
Hadn't gotten over the Dak injury. I was still
right.
I felt so bad for y'all, man. You never want to see it. I mean, I trolled y'all a little bit. Y'all were telling me to shut the hell up, but it is what it is. But I felt so bad for you. You never want to see a team go out like that, especially. I'm a Nets fan, you know what I'm saying, for basketball, and most of my, if not all of my subscribers. But, all right, but most of my subscribers are Sixers fans, and both times we played them, we were both not at full health, and you never want to see that. I'd rather lose in a good game than beat a team with their backups. Like, it's just not fun. So especially
you're gonna get some unsubscribes then.
Wait, hold on, what?
The conference finals. You're gonna be bragging, and they're gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna subscribe.
Y'all dog walk the Sixers, man.
They hate me. We had to deal with it enough. I mean, the reason me and Brandon started this whole podcast is because we're in a group chat with a couple of our friends that live in Philly, and they hate that I'm a Nets fan. Like, they hate it with a passion. Like, Brandon's not even a Sixers fan, and he hates that I'm a Nets fan.
I'm a Rockets fan, so.
Oh, damn. Sorry, bro. My bad. What's
my
up
bad.
My bad. Let me ask you.
That's how you guys say it. It's like, oh, damn.
Let me ask you a question. It's not necessarily Dallas, but I feel like Houston has went through a mass exodus. Like, what is going on over there? Like, every sports team, basketball, football,
baseball.
Right.
Yeah, baseball. If they had a hockey team, I think they'd be quitting. Like, what is going on? Can you give any insight on that? Do you know anything what's going on over there?
Something bad happened. This is probably karma. Something real bad happened. Nobody know about, and it'll come out. Because this is crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm random because I was born in Austin, Texas. You know what I'm saying? But when I was growing up, most of my family was in Chicago. My dad was down there doing his thing when I was born. We moved back. When I grew up, they was like, well, you got to pick a team. This is how you got to pick a team where you was born. And I was like, well, it wasn't hard. Like at the time I was young. I was like, look at the Cowboys is winning. So that was easy. Right. You see, when I was in Chicago with my family, everybody was Bulls fans.
Right.
And I of course, like everyone like Jordan. But I was like, well, what Texas team I'm going to pick that's the Rockets snuck in and won 2 championships.
Right.
So I latched on. And I didn't know that was going to be it. Latched on. It was like, yeah, that's it. They ain't come back.
Right.
So both of my teams technically were real good. And I was picking, I was like, oh, I can roll with the Rockets. And I was like, I'll just be a Texas Rangers fan. I just rounded it out. Because back then you had to have a team in every sport.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just roll with that. And I've seen the Texas Rangers get close. Dallas is filling off the map, obviously, outside of just getting me hype every year. And Houston, well, y'all saw what Harden used to do to me. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I'm going to just be an honorary Nets fan. Don't get surprised. When you see I got to just bandwagon something one time.
Yeah, see, in basketball, you can jump around, man.
I ain't bandwagon never. I got to do it once.
You can be fans of the players, man. I just like the players, man.
I'm not. Look, I'm too old. I'm not Team LeBron. I respect him.
Yeah,
but I got to roll against him just because out of respect. So this is perfect. I'll roll with
Michael Jordan has to be my GOAT. Michael Jordan. I was born into the Michael Jordan.
I'm just too old to be like Bron is the GOAT. It's not that I don't respect him. Just too old.
I respect that. I don't know how we went into basketball, bro. This is what happened.
Like ain't nobody listening.
Hey, Mavs up, man. Mavs up. I'm a Mavs guy.
Most of these shows are like 30 minutes, but I always tell Brandon, like, especially for this one and the next one, you know, obviously this one's going to be the Cowboys. Next, we got entertainer for the Giants. I was like, just be ready. These we're probably just going to be talking. We're just going to be for a little while.
Sorry about that, y'all.
It's just fun. You know, no. This
it's
is
a
what we
vibe.
want to do. It's always fun. We got 40 people in here, so apparently they're having fun. So, but so let's get into the pick, guys. Let's get into this pick. Okay. We'll start with you, Ron. Who are you thinking and why? Or do you guys want to do it together? I don't know if you guys like talk to
I'm gonna let him go. I'm gonna let him go first, man.
Sit back.
So since Chase is gone, I am gonna take Kyle Pitts. It is what it is. And the reason why I would take Kyle Pitts is because I have, first of all, he is a great talent. I'm not lying. I do like my tight ends, but once you take Kyle Pitts, you now have a little bit of baby trade leverage. You can let go. Well, actually, you keep the tight ends because you keep the other tight ends because they're not really making too much money. Right. But as far as Michael Gallup, his unfortunate fate is to get traded for a defender. It just is what it is because we're not going to pay you. We just not. It's too much stuff going on. We would take advantage of this year, and then during this year is where you would be closing the deal. So this year is when Michael Gallup contract talk will be coming up. So rather than doing the thing like most teams do, which is squeeze a person, like why isn't Gallup getting any more targets? Because you know how the NFL get down.
Right.
Rather than even do that and have him disgruntled during the year where we're trying to go for it, you trade him for a good defender, preferably a D tackle, and you work from that inside out. But yeah, I would take Pitts because I mean he's Kyle Pitts. I ain't lying. I ain't say he was bad. Tuck's like, yeah. But what my plan before y'all traded Wentz was I knew y'all would take Pitts, right? So the way I look at it is that 10, no matter what, one of these good receivers is going to fall to us. Outside of Waddle, I'd take one of those receivers just because I want to trade Gallup. So that's my plan. So since all the receivers are technically gone, I'm not taking Waddle. But if Devonta Smith, I would take him. Or if Chase filled us, I would take him just because I want to trade Gallup. And it's not because I don't like Gallup. It's just because, I mean, his value's up. Let's go get this defender. And I can get an experienced defender, not a young guy, and we can roll with that. So that's my plan.
I'm actually shocked.
I gotta hear that. I gotta hear it, Tuck, before I
Hey man, the train started with just me and my guy Nick's earlier on, and shouts out to my girl Mary. But that train is getting big for Kyle Pitts in Dallas, man. Hey, it's all steams ahead. But just to echo off of what Rome said, we got Michael Gallup, and I think he's the most valuable trade piece that we have. So I don't think he's going to get an extension. I think we'll move on. So Pitts is able to not only step in for his role, but also we got a tight end in Blake Jarwin, who we were high on. I was high on, but he had an ACL tear. We haven't seen much of him. So I feel like Pitts brings that entire dynamic. And now I know you guys were talking about the Super Bowl or whatnot, but what did Travis Kelsey do in the Super Bowl on an off night? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the way that he was able to help across the middle, man, with Pat Mahomes, even though the offense did struggle, that same thing that Pitts can provide. And also where Pitts is going to help us, man, is where we really struggle is in the red zone. So he's going to be a big primary target, hopefully, for Dak Prescott. So, man, you got to take Kyle Pitts if he's available. You can't pass on that type of generation talent if it falls to your lap. We did it last year with CeeDee Lamb. We saw what the outcome was with that. If Pitts happens to be the same thing, you take that, and we can address these defensive needs later down the road. And now we have trade capital with Michael Gallup to bring in a veteran defender and really get this thing rolling. So you have
CeeDee Wilson can be that third receiver.
Right. Yeah. So you have Ced Wilson, you have CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Kyle Pitts, even keep Blake Jarwin. So like, yeah, man, load up all the weapons, man. Like I was saying, I was playing Grand Theft Auto last weekend, man, and
it wasn't always like this.
Every gun on the shelf, I'm grabbing the rocket launchers, the SMGs, the shotgun. I want them all, man. Grenades, everything, man. And I feel like if we're able to do that, we're adding another explosive weapon to our already explosive offense, man. And it's going to make it that much difficult because a lot of people talk about, defense wins championships. But taking into consideration last year what Kansas City did, they was getting down, they was able to strike back just like that. And we saw that earlier on this season, going back to that Cleveland game. We were down big, and then Dak just turned it on with a switch and was able to come back in the fourth quarter. And then, of course, our defense let us down. But we saw – but that was boneheaded defense, man. And it's also Mike McCarthy, too, that game. But we're able to see what explosive offense can really do. So I feel like if we can keep our explosive offense and just have a middle-of-the-road defense, the Cowboys will be exactly where they need to be. So
can I say what I think they're going to do?
What's up?
Be honest with you. With the story coming out the other week, earlier this week with Lyle Collins, they're saying that our one of our tackles might retire. More than likely, we're going to take Slater.
Right.
This is the reality pick, not Jerome.
Right.
More than likely, we probably gonna take Slater.
Yeah, I would think the reality pick would either be Slater.
I won't be mad because that's a good piece.
Right.
So I'll take a good piece. I like the trenches. So if we take Slater, I won't lose sleep. I know it ain't flashy. Just better not take that D in.
Right. Because you also got to think about not just Lyle Collins' standpoint, but also Tyron Smith, where he's standing in his careers health-wise. So that gives us some insurance policy, and we can kind of move that piece. Last year, man, we were shifting offensive linemen all over the place. Like, you play here, you play here. Yeah. And so, if you're able to get a Rashawn Slater, I feel like that's the safest pick for the Cowboys. But I know you're going to see a lot of people talk about these corners. I'm just not a fan of these three corners at that 10 spot. So,
I've heard you because I used to be. I was on the Surtain train.
Yeah.
And then
that's what I am too. It's hard for corners to come into the NFL and
Surtain is good.
Impact.
But there are some later.
I don't know if he's number 6 pick good yet.
Yeah. He's not Jalen Ramsey. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me to take a corner, like I need a corner to really separate himself from the pack. And I feel like when you talk about Farley, Surtain, I'm personally a huge JC Horn fan. I think he fits our scheme. So it's like, where do you really reach, or do you wait till the later rounds and maybe bring in a Tyson Campbell or my guy Asante Samuel? So we'll see.
Your guy, he was an Eagle. He was an Eagle.
No, he got
I'm talking about his son. Florida State Seminole, man. Ron knocked my video, man. My very first draft video
where he said Dallas is gonna take 5 Seminoles straight.
I was just doing the introduction, man. Man.
He's like, we'll get Marvin Wilson, Marion Terry. I was like, hey, man, there's nowhere in the world.
Hey.
Only university like that is Bama. You could take six people from the Tide in a row, and everybody be cool with it.
Right.
But to say the least, I am low-key shocked that you're going to go offense, and not only just offense, you're going tight end wide receiver. You guys have so many mouths to feed. Like you said, you have Zeke. He gets into better shape. Cool. Then you have to give the ball to Tony Pollard, too. Then you got Amari Cooper, who you're paying. Then you got CeeDee Lamb, who you just drafted. And then, you have Michael Gallup. And maybe you can trade him for a defensive piece. There's no guarantee in that. There's a chance that he's just going to walk out at the end of the season and just go somewhere else. So
I think somebody will bite. You might.
That's why I'm surprised that you guys basically discussed how offensive line is important and how your offensive line stunk last year because of injuries. And I don't know how you guys just wouldn't be sold on taking an offensive lineman, or like you said, a corner like Farley or JC.
The reason why is if we were to take a Rashawn Slater, right, and let's say, for instance, Lyle Collins comes back fully healthy and Tyron Smith comes back fully healthy, he's not going to play.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Where's he going to play?
Guard? You crazy?
He going to start up Connor Williams?
Absolutely tonight.
I don't think so, man. They love
Connor Williams. Is terrible.
He is, but as you mentioned,
the Pittsburgh game for us by himself.
But as you mentioned last year, he was our most consistent player on the offensive line due to injury. So I think he's going to have some type of leeway going into the season that they're not going to look to replace Connor Williams. Now, I would trade Connor Williams if we're going to do that.
No, you trade Connor Williams, get whatever you can get, a third or fourth. That's
right.
But you put Slater at guard because you now have your succession plan to Tyron Smith.
Right.
At worst case scenario, we got Tyron Smith for what, 2-3 more years?
Right.
He's on 1 year. I might retire. Watch.
Right.
He like what gentleman for y'all? Jason Kelsey.
Jason can. Yeah.
Now Jason can play. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, and when he's trying to retire, the team won't be mad. They'll just respect it. Like, okay, you were dope for us. We respected you, a Hall of Famer. Do your thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when Tyron goes to retire, Jerry and them going to just hold that. Like, I guess you had him for a decade. So if you have a succession plan in place, because look, Slater might not be a guard, but Connor Williams is bad. I don't think you know how bad.
He
was the one always
Connor McGovern over Connor Williams, but
it's crazy how our offensive lines have gotten this bad. I remember, you remember 2016 when we were like, "Oh, it's going to be Dak versus Carson for the next 10 years."
Yeah,
neither of us think they're going to have these guys. Like, it's the craziest. I don't know what happened.
Travis Frederick retiring, that kind of hit us hard again. I think we didn't see that coming. Now there's talks, there's kind of rumors floating around that if we get past this whole COVID situation, there's a possibility he could return back. But Travis Frederick.
No,
because I think that's what
can play.
Huh?
They got Tyler can play.
Yeah, Tyler B can play. Yeah. So I mean, but like I said, the center was, and also Joe Looney plays solid. But I feel like, man, if we come back healthy with our offensive line, I feel like a lot of the young players got a lot of depth last year. Even though we talk about like a Brandon Knight or Terrence Steele, and they wasn't what we're accustomed to. They got a full season of NFL football, so that adds some more depth behind that offensive line. So we'll see,
line would make our team better. Period.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not even surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised because I already kind of knew. I'm more surprised Rome went with Pitts, to be honest.
It took some progress. It took some progress to get him on board, man.
I'm proud of you, though, man. I had to do it with Brandon. I had to do it with Brandon when I was trying to get him on the Micah Parsons train, and then we both jumped off at the same time. We were like, actually, maybe never mind. Maybe we were both.
Can he even block? Aren't you guys like a running team? Can he even block?
Who?
Pitts.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Pitts is good.
I don't know. All I've been hearing about is how he can stretch the field.
Oh, he can block. Shouts out to my guy, DMV Cowboys. He dropped the video showing all of his block. He can block, man. He can block. He's a dynamic asset, man. Like,
you know what I'm scared of?
He's not a good blocker.
Him going to Philly.
It's been getting rigged up. And Dallas got the worst. Like, you get bigged up too much, you come to Dallas and you feel like you already made it before you take a snap.
Nah, because CD did just fine last year.
Dallas and you get that star and they start tripping.
But CD did just fine last year, man. Like I'm saying,
CD also got humbled because he watched his quarterback break his leg in half.
Well, yeah, true.
Everybody got humbled.
Well, shit. I got humbled. You watch my shows on my channel pre-Dak injury. It's a lot more aggressive than after, man. I was like,
you get real.
Welcome back to the show, y'all.
Yeah, I just hope we have a competitive game. Make the best team. Man. You know what I'm saying?
I hope everybody goes out there and has fun.
Yeah. I can't brag because as soon as I say anything too much, I'm gonna be like, y'all ain't gonna sign Dak, and I gotta be like,
right. because all of that's pinned. I mean, when we did our show when it was like 5 on 5, man, I was aggressive. Like once I get my quarterback back, here we are right now. I don't even know if I have a quarterback back, man. I might not be pulling up to Philly next year.
I couldn't even clown Philly right. I'm like, Wentz got traded. You gonna sign Dak?
Right. I don't know. Yeah, I did one little joke. I did my one little Wentz joke and got out, man. Like, I'm cool.
You got to get in and out real quick.
You're like, what about Wentz? Oh man, y'all play around for there. Like, never mind. So at number 10, we got the Kyle Pitts pick. I already knew this was coming. Kyle Pitts to the Dallas Cowboys. I need to stop reading while I'm talking. But Dallas Cowboys got Kyle Pitts, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm not mad. I'm not mad that you guys took another offensive player. I was kind of hoping maybe a kicker, maybe the guy that holds the field goals. You know, maybe something like that. I think that's pretty important.
Good players. We're going to get one of them.
Shout out to Jamon Brown. He said if y'all Cowboy fans need a guard, he's available. If you do not know who Jamon Brown is, go to my most watched video, and it's the guy I'm crying about.
Okay.
He's trash. He literally
he's terrible,
between his game. In between Wentz was getting sacked, and he stops in the middle of the play and protects his glove. Yeah, that's Jamon Brown. I hate that man. I hate that man with a passion. But wait, before I get too upset, I appreciate you.
and I see y'all in the chat talking about my guy Asante Samuel. Man, he ain't coming to Philly either, man. Y'all trying to ruin my draft day, bro.
Grab him in the second round.
Y'all gonna take Chase and turn around and get Samuel in the second, bro. I'm gonna be.
They probably will. That sounds about right.
I would be mad, bro. I would be mad. I'm gonna be mad.
We're gonna move back to the first to grab.
As mad as you're gonna be, there's too many good players in that top 10. We have to get one. So as much as Philly can try to stop it, we're gonna get one. Because I've seen draft boards where Sewell dropped to us. Y'all better not let Sewell drop to us.
I don't know how that would happen. I don't know who.
Because somebody's gonna reach.
Too many people take a quarterback.
Yeah,
somebody's gonna reach for a quarterback. Somebody gonna jump up, take another one, and then one of those receivers, tackles, or that tight end. Somebody coming to us.
Right.
It's gonna be interesting to see if that fourth guy is Trey Lance or Mac, whatever the hell his last name.
I've been hearing Mac Jones get love though.
He is from his the Senior Bowl. He went crazy that week. He did his thing, but man, and technically, not technically, the coach of that team was Matt Rule for the Panthers. And he's been in love with that guy, so that would be very interesting. That would change the whole draft.
I think about that.
At number 8, that would be.
They go up for D Watt, so you're right. After they don't get D Watt, they be like,
"All right,
let's go Mac
Jones." Who? Mac Jones.
That's where everything's going to turn, man. I'm gonna sit up in my chair.
You gotta think, if the Falcons jump for a quarterback, that just means that Ryan is going somewhere. He's not retiring.
Right.
Yeah, in our draft, they obviously took Justin Fields, and his whole mindset was that to have him behind Matt Ryan for a year. But I don't know. Some of these people are just soft, bro. Like I've said it about Carson. I feel like how he handled this whole situation was soft. So I don't know. I don't know.
If you get it, you trade Ryan for while he got leverage. You don't wait.
That's what I would say. Why sit people? I'm at the point like this. If you look at the quarterbacks that are coming in, they're coming in way more ready. Like they're coming in way more game ready than they ever really have. It's not, you don't sit a guy for a year anymore. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're the Packers.
Denver need a quarterback. I'm not sold on Drew Lock.
Right. I think
they didn't want to give up Drew Lock for Matt Stafford. That was the weirdest thing to me. That made no sense to me. It's like, you really think Drew Lock can rap. I'll give him that. Drew Lock, he got sauce. He can spit some cheesy bars.
You know, you're talent before the sauce, though. You can't just be saucy.
He can't throw.
He can't throw, but he'll get you hyped up.
He just hype, and then he'd be trash in the field.
But hey, man, we about to get out of here, man. I appreciate everybody in here, man. We still got 32 people in here. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. Go check my peoples out. Guys, I appreciate you guys taking the time, just chilling with us.
Thank you.
This was a lot of fun. But we'll do this again.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we'll do this again. And then tomorrow, like I said, we do have the entertainer coming on for the Giants pick. So definitely come through. That's the picture. See, I'm not lying.
I'm in the comments tomorrow. I'm in the comments tomorrow.
I already know. You already know. But other than that, man, y'all know what it is, man. It is Fly Eagles Fly, and we are out here. Peace.